The world is in a concrete crisis, one that has had minimal response thus far.
Concrete has become one of the world's most used substances, second only to water. However, it's not perfect.
And when cracks form in the concrete, Griffith's fracture criterion details how structural integrity drops by 50%. The average structure lasts only 30 years without repairs, creating a $21 billion annual maintenance nightmare and causing thousands of deaths. Second, it's an environmental disaster. If concrete were a country, it would be the third largest polluter on Earth, responsible for 8% of global emissions, specifically due to its production methods.
But how do we actually solve this? Our powder additive heals concrete all on its own. Diatomaceous earth, a revolutionary ingredient, acts as the hard-shelled carrier by encapsulating calcium lactate as food and the B spores that does the healing. In addition, we also add a blend of carnauba and paraffin wax and fumed silica to enhance payload stability, prevent preliminary deployment, and create more nucleation or bonding areas, so the created calcium carbonate can bond to the cracks effectively.
When a microcrack inevitably forms, the hard, brittle shell of the diatomaceous earth fractures, activating the encapsulated bacterial spores, which feed off of calcium lactate and atmospheric carbon dioxide to produce calcium carbonate, which you can see here. Over time, this gradually fills and then seals the crack to be stronger than it was before.
With a one-time investment of just $3.24 per kilogram of our additive, we add 20 plus years to the lifespan of any structure. Concrete with our additive is a permanent carbon sink, locking away 2.42 kilograms of carbon dioxide per cubic meter of concrete. Just to put that in perspective, that's like offsetting carbon dioxide emissions from a 6,000-mile road trip.
We also modeled the efficacy of healing, notably within a radius approximation of mental enzyme kinetics, to find that our payload operates in a wide temperature range, consuming calcium most optimally at 15 degrees Celsius, but ranging up to a 30-degree envelope in either direction.
And using 3D printed molds, we ran the experiment ourselves. By adding concrete, diatomaceous earth, and calcium hydroxide, we were able to prove that the experiment would actually work. Using our sophisticated crack propagation device and a USB microscope, we observed several cracks over the course of a couple weeks and discovered 70% crack closure.
For 1 kilometer of C5 concrete with our additive, companies need to pay $2,100 upfront, but they save $25,000 over a 20-year lifespan. This is a massive return on investment for companies. In fact, a 12-to-1 return on investment.
Now to the most important part of any product.
How do we make any money?
Well, I'll tell you. Our revenue model utilizes a three-tier high-margin approach. First, we sell our additive at a premium of $25, while production costs are only $3.24. We would also contract directly with organizations who have a vested interest in infrastructure, such as the Department of Transportation and the Federal Highway Administration. Second, because our product permanently sequesters carbon dioxide, we are eligible for VCM carbon credits provided by the government. This allows us to gather an additional $10 in profit for every cubic meter of concrete poured. Third, and most importantly, are our licensing agreements. First mover partnerships, the current industry standard in the field, allows us to collaborate with existing concrete giants to utilize their existing distribution networks, supply chains, and production methods.
Well, we aren't reinventing the wheel here. In fact, there's already an industry for bioconcrete, but they all come with one flaw. They use soft gels to contain the bacteria, because soft gels interfere with the inherent bonds of concrete, weakening it before anything even happens. However, our use of DE to contain the bacteria solves this issue. DE is as hard as a rock, meaning that it can protect the bacteria without compromising the integrity of the concrete.
And unlike other companies, the diatomaceous earth in our product has secondary pozzolanic reactions with the existing calcium hydroxide innate within the cement matrix. It forms even more calcium silicate hydrate, the key binding factor that holds all the concrete together in the first place. In turn, this increases compressive strength by a measured 10 to 15%.
Concrete built the 20th century. Cracked will anchor the next.